To start with a couple of numbers, we have confirmed this morning 139 positive cases in Nassau County. We have had the death of a first Nassau resident, a 96-year-old man who died at Mercy Hospital yesterday. Now, just as we've been clear-eyed about the health impact of COVID-19, we have to be ready to face the devastating economic impact this virus will have globally, as you see in the plummeting stock market and in our county and for our local businesses. We don't know the full economic impact yet, but I predict that it will be brutal and it will have long-term impact. The more quickly we can quantify that impact, the more quickly we can begin to address it. So that is why today we will start collecting the data that we need. I'm announcing an Economic Advisory Council to assess the county-wide impact that coronavirus is having on our local businesses. I have convened some of Long Island's top business leaders to join in this task to help us track, calculate, and hopefully recoup losses for the county's business community. Hofstra University has stepped up to the challenge of collecting data, doing the economic forecasting of our losses, and evaluating the multiplier effect. So what is the multiplier effect? When you talk about economic development, you talk about all of the ancillary benefits, jobs, etc. Guess what? You can do the same thing for negative, and that's exactly what we're doing, the multiplier effect of losses. So a big thanks to Hofstra University. They understand and have the operation to deal with big data management, and there will be a lot of data to manage. This covers small and large businesses, manufacturing, hotel, retail, restaurants, construction, mom and pop shops, from the smallest to the biggest here in Nassau County. This will be all-encompassing, and we seek to identify with this data what we need from the federal government to recover. We need to track it so we can be specific, even as this crisis continues to unfold. A lot of people stepped up to the plate very quickly to serve on this council, and we'll give you their names in the press release. While we are waiting on our federal and state departments to determine how assistance will be distributed to business owners who are affected, I recommend that all businesses who are affected look into the Small Business Association's Disaster Relief Program. You can visit sba.gov, go to lending, go to disaster loans, and see if you're able to submit a loan request. SBA is telling people to call 1-800-659-2955 or email disastercustomerservice@sba.gov for more information. So while SBA loans will not replace your revenue, it can assist with expenses like fixed debt such as rent, leases, payroll, and accounts payable. We need to support each other right now. We need to support our local businesses. I know we're not going to restaurants and bars right now, but you can always get delivery, you can get takeout, you can buy gift cards. Support your local businesses so that they can support us. I would like to now turn it over to Controller Jack Schneerman.
Thank you, County Executive. Thank you again for your leadership in this difficult time. Thank you for your coordination. Thank you for bringing together these great leaders of business and of labor and so on and so forth. And thank you also for modeling social distancing by having this press conference outside and keeping all of us who are normally used to shaking hands and such away from each other. So I want to echo and applaud the announcement of an Economic Advisory Council so that we can ensure that we know the data and that we can plan for the months ahead. It is absolutely critical, as the County Executive is rightly putting health and safety first, that we also begin to think about the economic impact as we go forward. Separately and in a complementary fashion in the days ahead, I'll be announcing the launching of a financial impact analysis on the effect of COVID-19 focused on Nassau County's government as controller. This analysis will provide vital projections and models for the county as we plan and budget going forward. We need to know, and we understand that we need to know the range of potential impacts on our revenues so that we can take the necessary steps to protect residents and taxpayers and ensure that essential government services are able to continue unimpeded. And with that, we will continue focusing on 3 priorities in the Controller's Office. 1, to ensure that we process everything the county needs in this time related to the virus in a expeditious manner. 2, that we will ensure that we pay our wonderful employees on time. And 3, that we continue to pay our county vendors as well as fast as possible to lessen the economic impact. Thank you again to the County Executive.
Thank you very much, Controller Schneerman. As he says, if you can track it, if you can quantify it, then you can really begin to make the necessary adjustments and solutions. Before I turn it over to any of our business leaders or labor leaders who would like to speak, I'm happy to take some questions if you have any. Stores where you can keep distance from other people, we are told, our health professionals are telling us, that is okay, as long as you sanitize your hands regularly. It's where people are clustering together tightly. That's what you have to worry about. Going to the grocery store to buy food is safe. Keep your distance from other people. Make sure you wash your hands when you're done. It's a man, a 96-year-old man who was a Nassau resident. Well, as we await news on the actual opening, we do know that they're very busy down in Jones Beach right now to open something within the coming hours. We do know that. Of course, I am always looking out for our residents here in Nassau County, so we are going to use proper official channels between Nassau County and the New York State Office of Emergency Management to prioritize testing for our first responders, for our healthcare providers, and for people with underlying medical conditions. The County Department of Health has a list of those who are in quarantine who are prioritized for testing. By and large, people are getting the message. You know, we had to take the step yesterday, and the state did as well, of closing the bars because people were still going out and congregating. But by and large, people are getting the message that they're part of the solution. And economically, they can be part of the solution as well. Say that louder. Wow. Actually, you're telling me something I didn't already know. Interesting. About which? Hoarding. You know, the hoarding is troubling because when people start hoarding, everyone else feels the panic and the shortage and feels that they have to hoard as well. So we're just asking everyone, take what you need. We're going to make it through this. Take what you need to get through the next few weeks and let other people get what they need as well.
Yeah, so I was down there this morning and met with health department representatives there to make sure that our residents were part of this. We're working collaboratively. I expect clear guidance on this, but there is going to be an appointment process through the New York State hotline number that we've been giving you every day, but also they're working with the Nassau County Department of Health to make sure that our needs are represented, and County Executive Curran and I have been very clear about what we think our needs are and how to protect our our healthcare workforce and the people most at risk. So it's an evolving operation. We expect a lot more guidance to be coming out, but it's a collaboration, and I think the guidance will be clear. And for people who have questions about it, they can call the state's 888 hotline.
Well, this is what we're talking about, the multiplier effect. We're getting emails and calls from people with such issues. We know that businesses have to do what they have to do right now, and that's why it's so important that we gather all of this data from all of our different industries, from big to small, so that the federal government can help us. We have something specific to show them for the help that we need. I'm sorry, there are very many trucks today for some reason. Guns are not going to fight the virus. What will fight the virus is people staying home and isolating themselves and not having birthday parties and weddings and clustering together in big groups. That is the best weapon against the virus. Thank you. Would any of our business people or leaders like to speak? You don't have to? Kristen Jarnigan, she runs Discover Long Island, which is the Hospitality and Tourism Bureau for both Nassau and Suffolk, so it's regional.
Thank you. Kristen Jarnigan, President and CEO of Discover Long Island. I just want to again applaud both counties for addressing the economic issue. People may not realize that tourism on Long Island is a $6.1 billion industry, and it's suffering greatly right now. You're seeing the closure of hotels, not just restaurants that can continue business, but hotels, attractions. What that means, last year, tourism generated $740 million in local and state tax revenues. So we're going to see the immediate impacts of that. So I again want to applaud not only the attempts and the actions of containment, because that's going to be the only thing that gets us back on our feet, but we are looking forward to working closely with the county for solutions so that when the time is right, we can welcome back visitors and spur the economy. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Richie Kessel from the IDA is going to speak now.
Thank you. Let me just take 2 minutes to explain. Obviously, a lot of our businesses that we help are going to be suffering, not just the small business community, but the larger businesses where employees are home, their business is not working well. As a result of that, the county executive has asked us to work with the administration to do 2 things. One is to reach out to all of the businesses that we service to make sure that they're okay, and to see if there's anything that we can do in the interim to help them. More importantly, after this crisis is over, we are going to work with the administration and the state legislature to look at ways that we can use our pilot programs to extend them to businesses that need help. You know, we do offer payments in lieu of taxes to businesses that are growing, that are moving to Nassau County, that are expanding in Nassau County. They may need our help more than ever. So we will work with the administration and the state legislature to see if we can aggressively expand our programs to reach more businesses so that they can survive and prosper after the crisis.
Thank you, Richie. Just 1 second. For the small business perspective, the Vice President of the Chamber of Commerce is for Nassau, Frank Camerano.
I found out, like most people did, yesterday morning that, you know, the restaurants at 8 p.m. are going to be closed, including the gyms. I own one in East Meadow. We kind of knew it was coming. I guess I knew it was coming at some point, but we do the best we can. You know, it's only been about 24 hours since we found out. Truth be told, the Nassau Council, which is the umbrella of all the chambers in Nassau County, us, including our chamber members, are volunteers. And we're here, you know, to represent and to support all the businesses, large and small in Nassau County, but primarily small business. And we'd rather be working on like scavenger hunts or stuff like that, which was done successfully. But, you know, here we are. This is something I'm sure is, you know, a lot more important. And our goal, and we'll be working with the county executive, of course, and the county IDA and all, to come up with answers and solutions along the way to help small business cope. So now, you know, whenever that happens, and it will happen, eventually we'll get the call, we'll see it on TV, that businesses one by one will be able to reopen, that we'll all be able to hit the ground running together, because after all, we're all in this together. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we go on, you have a question? Alan, do you want to answer that? How long, you know, for a business does it take to start feeling the effect of this?
From the hotel industry and the restaurant and spas, it was almost immediate. And at this point, our businesses are down over 90%. We're running almost empty facilities. But first and foremost, we have to worry about the safety and security of our guests and our team members. That's really what's most important in this situation. And as much as our businesses are suffering, we've got a lot of people that are currently furloughed or laid off, and we need to make sure that the benefits we've paid for all these years, they get, that they're taken care of first, and then we can worry about, after the safety and security of our population, getting our businesses back up. But we felt it immediately, and we continue to feel it, and we're trying to work in figuring out the safest way to provide services and take care of our folks. That's what's number one on our mind right now. My name is Alan Mindell from Samar Hospitality. We have 3 hotels in Nassau County with restaurants and spa as well. Full benefit house.
Eric Alexander from Vision, Long Island.
Thank you, County Exec. You know, before this crisis 2 months ago, there were 40 downtowns on Long Island with robust revitalization programs and really ready for the spring and the summer in an exciting way. Now we're hearing, we spoke to 75 businesses in 20 of those downtowns, and we hear now that they're 50% down before last night. Now it's significantly worse for folks, restaurants and bars that can't do takeout, and others, and certainly the employees. 70% of Long Islanders, you know, are paycheck to paycheck people, working folks, middle class folks. So folks are struggling, downtowns are struggling. We really applaud the county exec for doing something. We need to know about the health impacts, and we've heard a lot about Wall Street, but this administration and others that are working together collaboratively, the folks standing up here, care about Main Street, and that's what really matters. So we look forward to shouldering up to the wheel and coming together like everyone did with Sandy. We're going to have to double down in ways we don't even know. Definitely a lot of work to do. So applaud the county exec and certainly the controller for their thoughtfulness and their analysis and their leadership. Thank you.
You know, Eric, that's such a great point. As we're working hard to revitalize our downtowns and do transit-oriented development, you know, this is really hitting our downtowns hard. Our mom and pops, our main streets really hard. So as much as you can, shop local, get gift certificates, get takeout, delivery, support your local businesses so they'll be there for us when we bounce back, and we will bounce back. Thank you.